there, I'm Craig with Craig's Car Care. I got a something different for us today. It's a engine stand, and I'll say it's VEVOR. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. This is the 1,500-pound model, and I really like it already for several reasons. I've got it unpacked. The packaging needs a little bit more foam inside of it to make it a little bit stronger so it doesn't bounce around inside there. Let's try this again. Hey there, Craig here with Craig's Car Care. Hey, today I got something a little bit different for us to try. I'm at the house shop here, aka garage, and we've got some motors that we're doing here at the house. It's a lot quieter than at the shop. There's a lot going on there. And so I got this engine stand for some motors that we're building. We've got a big block over here. It's just off camera view. And I've got another small block I'm starting to put together, so I needed another stand here at the house. So I got this on Amazon from this company called VEVOR. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. They had several models to choose from. For not a whole lot more money, I went with the 1,500-pound model. I figure bigger is better, stronger, will last longer, gives me more options. So, if I'm putting a $5,000 engine on top of this thing, it's $100, $200, $300, $400 for the stand, and it won't let it fall and crash in the ground, then that's a win for me. Something else, if you've been looking at the picture here, I thought we'd build this one together, is if you notice it's got 5 wheels instead of 4. That's because the third leg on this stand actually folds up for when it's not being used. So here in a smaller garage, it's gonna be a nice addition there to putting it off the side when we're not using it. So as we're building, we've got 2 motors being built. I've only got 1 stand here. So we're gonna build this one here and add this to our list. It's actually a pretty heavy-duty unit. You get stuff off the internet, you never know quite how strong it's going to be. So strength-wise, we'll see how all that works out here in a little bit. Obviously, if you're mechanically inclined and you don't need this, buzz on past to the stuff that you're interested in. But we do try and cover more details for the folks that like to get in the weeds and see more details and stuff. So I'll get a little close here, and this is the one we're looking at. And it's the 1,500-pound model, user manual. You notice it's got the extra wheel here, so this piece can fold up out of the way and still not fall over when you're not using it as an engine stand. So I like that. Instructions are pretty straightforward. On the assembly instructions, it's really just maybe a page and a half, or a page, so to speak. It's kind of wordy. It's, I like more pictures, so the picture here is okay. This will be enough to do it with these pictures here. So I guess let's kind of get started putting this thing together. I was going to do this one like as a time-lapse thing with pictures, but I usually get beat up in the comments about, hey, I need more details from a few folks. So we'll make this one a little bit longer and take out of it what you need. So I'm going to start here by just putting the caster wheels. Hey, if you're curious about tools, let's see. We got 22 millimeter here. We've got the nuts for these 4 larger bolts. They are 21 millimeters. For this other set of bolts here, 19 millimeter for the bolt and the nut, or 19. These are, I believe these are going to be what's going to hold the caster wheels. These are all, that's 14 millimeter, and I didn't actually check that one. That looks like it's going to be 14 millimeter as well. Maybe 13, I'll double check that. So 13 or 14. I said most folks doing this, you've got more than enough tools to do this thing. If you're putting one of these together and you don't have a good full set of tools, you probably need to rethink what you're doing. But I've been asked that, so I'm trying to cover it on here for what tools you'll need. And I said I've got a few tools scattered out on this big block job we're doing over here, the Chevrolet 454. And so I just grabbed the old Universal and a couple of things there, just out of another box, just so we can shoot this. And oh, I got a 13mm wrench. This is 14 as well. So anyhow, so don't beat me up in the comments. Be kind. All right, so I'm gonna pop the wheels on this thing and jump out here. So if we're gonna say these are 14s here, and I did not grab a 14 wrench, I'll probably grab that in a minute here to do that. And let's see if we can kind of do this without a whole ton of instructions. So let's see here for our base arm. So what I'll do is I'll show the video of just putting one wheel on, and I'm going to shut it off so I can just blow through these other ones without a lot of narration. And so let's see, this is what they want here. All these smaller, looks like either 8mm or 5/16 washers are probably for these nuts. There's enough of them here, so they want them on both sides. We've got 15 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And so there are not enough washers to do both sides. So they'll probably want some extra. And here, of course, all your lock washers. Pull this over here. Alrighty, so I guess they're only wanting a nut and lock wash on the other side. Is there going to be enough room to do it this way? Let's look at the instructions. Maybe I can save you a step as you go. Yeah, they show the bolts coming through. Like I said, the picture is really small. I've got my reading glasses on, but even still, it's kind of tough to see what they're wanting. It looks like they want to put the bolt through here. Stick your wheel on there. Flat washer, lock washer, nut. That's what they're wanting to do by the picture. If you're a lot younger than me, or better eyesight, or both, whatnot, more power to you. This will make it easier to get the nut on when you're trying to reach in for these. That. How hard is it to reach in here for these other ones? You know, there's all kinds of tricks to doing this, but my fingers are long enough to do this, kind of, sort of. So, you can take a socket or ratchet and slide in there, put paper in there. There's all kinds of ways to do this. Let's see here. I'll tell you what, this is not really cheap square tubing here. This looks like what, 2-inch square, and it's probably an 1/8. So several 16ths. Some of these that we've done, have been like really paper thin. You can't see it on video, but there's a little bit of weight to this thing. So that's the first thing I noticed when I got the box. That the box was beat up because the stuff didn't really have enough packaging inside to protect it. We've got some scratches on here. I don't need another refund or anything, because between painting on the stand and beating the stuff around, it's going to get beat up anyhow. I can hit a little bit of Krylon and protect it just well. But I think the sheer weight of this thing in the box, and how the box got beat up, is probably not entirely a bad thing. It's kind of good that they built it with pretty heavy materials. And even the casters here, some of the kit, if you do a lot of these things, and I've got 3 or 4 of these stands that belong to the shop, and they're at the shop, and I want this at home. This is not a really cheap wheel, and I don't know about, the bearings look okay. This thing is built for weight. All right, so let's just try and do this without a wrench here. See if it'll pick itself up. Oh yeah. Go. not using a tractor. There's the first one on. Let me get these other ones installed. And, you know, if you didn't just notice it, I did. I believe I put the small wheel where I should have put a big wheel. I'm going to leave this. I'm not even going to edit this. So I'm going to undo that and eat some crow here. Yeah, I sure did. So I'm going to eat a little crow and undo that. So don't do what I just did. Remember the 4 big wheels go on there. So I'll get all this straightened out and then I'll be right back as we put something else together. Okay, we're back here. About 10 minutes to put the wheels on, including fixing my mistake with the smaller wheel. So maybe put the smaller wheel on first, and after that, the other 4 larger ones can only go in one place. All right, so just for the sake of not hitting myself in the head, I put the first beam on. You've got your wheels on, your 2 beams. The short piece goes in the front. Long piece is going in the back. So I'm going to drop these in here. I just got one started, and I'm going to work on the other ones here. Pretty straightforward. Let's see, washer, lock washer, nut. And this is the 6. I think this is the 6 of the longer ones here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Quality-wise, bolt doesn't feel too bad. I would like for the manufacturer, if you could go with a little bit larger, thicker head, that would be nice. That would be helpful there. But the product seems good, so I'm having good luck with here. Back to front. So I did look at the instructions, and I've got them laying right here. And then get these stuck in here. And you could honestly go through and just get them all in, and then come and tighten them all up. All right, let's get this in here. I'm really going to like being able to pivot this arm up when not in use, because, you know, I mean, we do quite a bit of heavy work, but you know, 9 times out of 10, though, this stand is not getting used. So that's going to be a handy thing to get them out of the way. Because if you're already doing motor work, then you know that you've always got that thing floating somewhere around the shop, and you've got this leg that's always out, and you're tripping over it. To be able to stand this up out of the way, I mean, it's going to save some space. You know, workbenches is normally where we slide these things on the ends. But sometimes these are tight getting in and out, and you got all the garbage that builds up underneath there, and you got to blow that out to keep it clean as shop. So, all right, let's pop these other ones in here. I looked at the instructions again. This piece goes on top, and I don't think it cares which way it goes. We do know they're going to go down, so we'll do that. Lock washer, lock washer, nut. Drop these on here. Get that stuff there. Get that sped up. Spun up, sped up. Sped up means get faster. Spun up means ramped up or... Okay, so now we've got the pieces going here. Let's get this together here. I apologize for that interruption. I use my phone to record, so when somebody sends me a text or a phone call, it stops the camera. So, alright, so with the pin in of this, look at that. That's going to be cool for storage. And I guess what you'd have to do is maybe like this, and like this. That would go there. I'm going kind of quick here at this point. And there's the stop piece there. Handle here. Let's see, do I have another piece? I don't have another piece to put on here. I can see. It's probably right in front of me. I bet I'll find it here in a minute. If not, I can make something. It's got these little caps that go on here. So it looks like you just angle them down. It's actually not a bad way to finish that stuff off. Let's see here. Other ones. So, uno mas, that may fall. You put got a safety pin, or it'll be the other pin to keep that from coming over and tearing stuff up. Alright, that's not too bad there. Alright, so that'll keep it from falling over. Store it like that. The only thing I got left to do is put on the mounts up here for the motor. I want to see how that works. Drop that down here, raise that up there for your engine to be in place. Yeah, it's actually got pretty good. I think the stamps on this might be a little bit larger than this other one here. Tell you what, before we go any further, I'm going to spin this one here. Let me turn the camera here, so we can kind of look these two together here. All right, let's see, can you see that? So here's the big block project here. Chevrolet, big and block, that's going to be a nice runner there. Move the floor jack out of the way here. And yeah, you know, this one back here has only got the one in it too. I guess I just never noticed it. We actually lengthened it because the one it came with was too small. So they actually give you a little bit beefier one here to be able to handle the weight of the motor. So again, another nice step that this one here doesn't have. This one you can't see. This is one of the ones we had to weld up and redo it. Make it stronger. So how do we look here compared to? I mean, you can see, you know, this is probably 1.5 inches. This is 2 inch too. I think the thicknesses are about the same, but this is got more girth to it. And these back casters are fixed. Look at all these. I just noticed that all 4 of these spin and all 4 of these lock. So another win on this stand here. And then let's see here, a drip tray. Now again, something else we had to do on this one, from this other brand, we had to put this beam in here because the stress was so much on this lighter unit. And it doesn't fold up. And another thing I just noticed, look how much lighter this one is compared to this one. So, you know, this is a beefier unit, and the center of gravity is a little bit lower with this setup too. So now let's try this. I wanted to see what this would do here. Oh yeah, that's going to fit nicely. Drip tray, if you're interested, I'll put a link to that. This one came from JEGs. It's about 80 bucks, 90 bucks. Yeah, I know it costs more money, but the ones that are like 20 or 30 bucks, they are like flimsy paper. I had one and I dropped a 1/2 inch ratchet and I cracked it from like here to here on the last one I had. So I ponied up, spent a little extra money. No doubt this is a heavier unit. It's a universal, but if you notice, these bosses here are fitting right onto here just fine. And this clears here. So, you know, these are sold as universals, but look, it's sitting on there great. So nothing like having a good drip tray. I just threw the other one away that we've used on this one because I dropped stuff from here to here and a 1/2 inch drive ratchet. And as it fell, I didn't see it, but a few minutes later I had fluid pooling up on the ground, and that's because it cracked it. And it's maybe a year old. It's maybe had 2 motors built on it. So yeah, so better drip tray, not what we're here for. I'm going to rig up this other piece here in just a minute. We're going to try that out. Something I did also get, that I'm going to add onto this same video, is, I hope the manufacturer doesn't mind, but on some motors, if you don't like the flex, even with this all beefy and reinforced and the size is real same, You notice there's still a little bit of down flex. It's just physics, guys. You know, this stuff is heavy. These are heavy pieces here, and that's what's included in that kit. I can see it's a little bit, that looks a little bit beefier, but you're always going to have a little flex. So if you don't want any, and you're willing to spend, that's $100 and something bucks right there. And this is made for Chevrolet, small blocks, big blocks, and I believe it'll either, this is from ICT. This will also do, I think, the newer V8s. Let's just say that for Chevrolet. I can't think of it off the top of my head. You'll correct me in the comments there or help me out there. Got the little spacers. This goes on here, and then your motor bolts into there. And you use these adapters, and if necessary, these bolts if they'll fit your thread pitch. So we'll hook all this up here in just a couple of minutes. We are going to try the other one and see how that works. All in all, I like this stand. I haven't put anything on it yet, but I can tell you, because just with this piece they've got put in there, they got a pretty good gusset plate support piece in here. It's not real thick, but that's not what it needs to be. It needs just to have a little body, which it does. So assembled up here. I started putting these two pieces on here and then realized looking over, I don't think this is going to be wide enough at its widest setting on top. The bottom here is its widest setting. And typically how these are supposed to go, the slanted parts are for the bottom and the straight parts are for the top. Now, I've seen it done both ways and it works both ways, but how you get designs, and yep, even if you look at the plate here, matter of fact, if you look at the plate, you know, this is fitting your, you know, like your bell housing, your transmission. These angle pieces are down here. So keep that in mind. So measurement wise, this is 15 inches from center to center. If that's all you wanted to know, I'm sorry I made you watch a long video to find me standing here with a tape measure for several seconds while you see it in fast play. And go, thank you, that's all I needed. It's 15 inches from center to center at its widest point. Chevrolets, I think, are 16 plus. Should have measured it before I said anything. Yeah, it's right about 16 center to center. So that's an inch too small, and there's really no great way. This is 1 inch by 1 inch stock, so I mean that's a good solid chunk of steel right there. This just needs to be, should have just been out here. If they'd gone a ½ inch this way and a ½ inch that way, you would have had the 16 to work. But it's not going to work the way it is right now. You could grind all this away, slide it over, re-weld it, and then oblong the hole in here. That would be a pain in the butt being solid metal to do that. Probably easier just to get you some more stock steel and make you some new ones there, or buy the plate. I think that's the only way I'm going to go from here on out. This is level now. I have it up on the weight up on the engine lift there, cherry picker, whatever you want to call it. That's our rod. We were just checking oil pressure on this motor, make sure it had plenty before we went any further with it. It's ready to drop in. It's going in I think a 64 GMC heavy half. Cool old truck. That's Garrett's project on that truck there. But we're going to borrow his motor here, and we're going to pick it up, and we're going to put it on here. So I mean that's a big block Chevy. It's, you know, a diesel's 1,000 pounds, you know, ish, and like a 7.3 or something, or even a 6.0. So this thing's supposed to be rated at 1,500. I think it's beefy enough. It's going to. We'll see what it'll do. That's probably 400 or 500 pounds worth of motor there. Of course, these are probably things I should know, but I mean, you know, it's a big block Chevy. You know, it's big and heavy. So we'll put that on here. And I videotape the whole time. You know, I'm doing this. It's probably going to aggravate you. I should probably just stop the video and then get everything mounted up and then show you. That's probably what people really want to know. So I think I'll do that. I'm going to get all this hardware, get all this stuff bolted up, and then I'll come back here. It'll be just a second for you. It'll probably take me 20, 30 minutes to get all this swapped over. And you do not want to watch me any more than you have to. Okay, getting this thing hooked up here. Let me grab my gun here. This plate went onto here, lickety split, 1, 2, 3. Let me get these all started well. Let's see. All right. There's 2 sets of bolts in the kit here. Metric and standard. Wash on this one. Clean those holes out a little bit better. So there's 2 sets of bolts here. A metric set, which is probably a 10-150, and then the standard set here, which is going to be the 3/8 16. And all right, so we're on there. We're going to call everything tight and everything. And let's get a pin in here. So we're going to flip it over. Not that I've ever done anything like that before. All right, so let's see. Compare this one. Yep, same little pin. Alrighty, so all tight. These are tight. Those are tight. Let's put some weight on this thing and see what we get. Oh, you see that? What do you think, guys? Look, that's level still. I don't know, maybe there's a tiny bit of down bubble, but it's sitting on here entirely. And I'm going to leave it on here because it's a new stand, so I don't entirely trust it. So let's bounce it. If we can break it, let's break it on video. So, you know, that's not too bad. Kind of a video picture we got there. Let's step back over here. Let's let you guys see a further back view of that. You know, that's not too bad. I like it. In fact, this 1,500-pound model here has got a wider stance than this unit. So, you know, in this garage floor, we've got the crack in it. It's an old building. And the motor's sitting level, and we can turn it back and forth if we want, just on this pin. I'm impressed. I think the stand is good. The arms that go here, if you're going to use this for a Chevrolet, you're going to have to get a plate or make your own stuff. You know, this is aftermarket stuff, so it's not designed to fit exactly every vehicle. But you know, let's not knock it. You know, for what it is, it's very impressive. You know, and it fits the JEGs drain pan fits really well. And then of course, you know, when we're done, we can fold the bottom. I'm going to leave this on here. I'm not even going to put it back on this other stand, on this old, this is a half-ton stand over here. So half-ton, how many pounds? 1,000 pounds, right? 2 ton or 1 ton. 1 full ton would be 2,000 pounds. So if this is rated at 1,000, not too bad. This is rated at 1,500. This is positively a stronger piece of equipment. There's no way around that. So, not knocking that one too much. Like I said, we had to modify it here where it won't come apart anymore, but we had to do this, or this motor on this stand made it bend too much. On here, guys, we're not modifying anything. You know, I literally just put it together, and the only thing different we did was our adapter plate, which I'm telling you, for all my future motors, I'm doing this. I'm probably going to have to buy a couple more for the shop for when we're doing more than one motor. But this is good. This is no joke. I mean, chain's loose. It's all sitting on here. And I'll just keep bouncing it here for a few more seconds. Not that I feel like I could probably actually stand on the end, but oh yeah, that's a lot of force. So yeah, not too bad. I like that whole setup. I think these will be the ones we buy in the future for this kind of stuff here. So, well, that's it. Thanks for watching. That was the VEVOR. Let me grab the instructions here one more time. Everything was in the kit. It was not missing anything. So that worked out good. This is the what we're working on here. And again, if you had a choice, unless you're just doing a little 4-cylinder or something that you know is going to be light, and you're never going to do anything big or heavy, then okay, you can buy something less. But you know, if you think you can do bigger stuff, or you like the idea that bigger, stronger, is safer. This is, like I said, there's thousands of dollars in this motor right here. So for a couple $100, $200, $300, $400, wherever you might end up in this thing, it's worth it to spend a little extra money up front and get a better product. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.